Hi, Leo and Leo Rising. Here's your horoscope for November 2024. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, eclipse season is behind us, and now we have the aftermath. And what I mean by that is anytime we have eclipses, whether they're solar or lunar, they affect you. Now, this reading's for anyone who has a rising sign in Leo or has a sun sign in Leo. This is a general overview using Western astrology, tropical whole house systems. Okay, because I don't have everybody's birthday. Everyone's birthday is different, and everyone's birth chart is different. So it has to be a very general overview. Anyway, let's get back to the eclipses. So when I say eclipses, the sun is the ruler of Leo. So anytime we have an eclipse, that's when the sun and the moon are meeting or in opposition to each other, and they are indicating areas of change. So in September, we had the lunar eclipse in the 8th house here in Pisces. So a lot has changed psychologically. Maybe there's endings involved in your personal life. You know, maybe people are leaving your life or they're moving away, or maybe you had some major changes going on financially. And then in October, we had a solar eclipse, which was in Libra right here in the 3rd house of communication, ideas, self-expression. And so this is setting the stage for the next 6 months for many of you Leos to start something new in where you could express yourself. Now, as we go into November, the energy continues now with the sun going through the sign of Scorpio. Now, this has a lot to do with the 4th house, which has a lot to do with the home, feeling, and foundation. Anything to do with your children, the past, emotions. This is all on the table as we begin the month of November. What is also tricky is Mars is squaring Pluto. That's a tumultuous sort of tension that's in the air. And you've probably been feeling it since the middle of last October, a few weeks ago. So this is going to be basically in the mix for the first couple of days of November. Now, the good news is Mars is going to leave Cancer and go into your sign. So you're going to feel much more motivated and driven, because Mars in the 1st house in your sign is I want attention, I got to pick myself up and move forward, I got to take care of what I need to take care of. And that's the plus side of this month. Everything pertaining to work is also on the table this month as Venus makes its way into your 6th house, and we have a full moon that's going to activate this 10th house of career. And it's going to be closely aligned to Uranus. So I'll discuss that a little later on. But as we start off the month, we have the first thing going on right on the first day is the new moon in Scorpio right there. This is going to be at 9 degrees of Scorpio. So wherever that is in your actual birth chart, that's the house that gets lit up. So generally speaking, this 4th house has to do with real estate matters. It has to do with the home life. It has to do with children. It has to do with nostalgia. Scorpio in the 4th house can be very nostalgic. And this could have to do with remodeling or land or anything connected to your foundation. And so this is going to give you opportunities to maybe work on the house or house projects, remodel stuff around the house. Maybe you're fixing your parents' house if that's what you're into. But anything to do with feelings are going to be highlighted with this new moon in Scorpio. And so this has a lot to do with intuition and emotions. So whatever you have going on, there definitely seems to be a lot of emotion here because we have planets that are in water signs. We got Mars in Cancer, Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, and now we have all this water here. And so there's a lot of emotion on the table here this month that you'll be dealing with, at least for the first couple of days. So as we continue the month, we have Mercury entering Sagittarius on the 2nd. Now that helps out a lot, because Mercury works very well in Sagittarius, and it enters your 5th house of creativity and fun and playfulness. So this should help alleviate, any doldrums or, sadness or whatever you have going on the first day of the month. So Mercury in Sagittarius is fun-loving. It's creative. It wants to experience. It wants adventure. And so maybe you're spending more time with your kids. Maybe you're working on an important project. Maybe you're starting something new, like I said, around the house that you need to take care of. And you're feeling much more motivated as we go into this Mercury in Sagittarius. Now, Mercury will go retrograde at the end of the month, but it's really not a big deal when Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius, especially in the 5th house. So I'll get to that in a little bit. So here's the big deal. Mars opposes Pluto exactly. It'll be early morning on the 3rd, but because I'm using this chart with the Leo rising, I have to use the 2nd here. As you can see here, it's also 11 p.m. But it's, I believe, 6:30 in the morning on the 3rd. It'll be exactly opposing it. So what that means is a lot of energy in the air, a lot of nervous energy, a lot of get up and go. I got to get motivated, and there's a lot of emotion involved, so maybe there's something going on that's not going right in the morning. And then by the afternoon, you've resolved that issue. And so this is going to be on the table here. Okay. So just remember, you wake up on Thursday, on the 3rd, there could be some weird energy in the air. So keep an eye on that. All right. Now, the good news is later on the 3rd, I believe it's in the evening, Mars enters Leo, your sign. So now the energy completely shifts. And now Mars in the 1st house is very strong. It is very determined. It wants to, do and go, and it doesn't want to hold back. It wants to exert energy because this is a lot of fire energy here with Mars in Leo in the 1st house. So for the next 6 weeks, you will be driven to accomplish, to maybe improve your physical health, because the 1st house represents the physical health. And so maybe you're getting back into the gym and, you got to get things done. You got to improve things. And so this is going to help give you the motivation as Mars makes its way through Leo in your 1st house. So take advantage of this opportunity, especially on the 4th and on throughout the month. So we also have Venus entering Capricorn on the 11th right there. So when Venus enters Capricorn in the 6th house, it's all about work. It's all about business. It's all about getting down to the nuts and bolts, getting things done. It's in the 6th house that has to do with service and health and organization and taking care of things. So once again, we're looking at improvement in some way or some regard. So with Mars here and Venus here in the 6th, it's get back to business, getting things done, getting activated, improving. So this is going to be very beneficial. Okay, so we could see the month is slowly improving for many of you. Now, Saturn goes direct in Pisces on the 15th. Right there, it's in stationary position. Now, this will be very helpful because we want a Saturn moving direct, because Saturn retrograde is basically slowing us down and dragging our feet. But now it's moving forward again. You have a little bit more clarity as this improves and starts moving direct. It's in that 8th house. This has been, very solemn and very, draining, at least for the last year and a half or so that Saturn's been sitting here. So fortunately, this is going to be another benefit of it moving direct. Now, on the same day, we also have the full moon in Taurus. Now, this is a complete wild card because this is going to be conjunct Uranus, which is the wild card in the zodiac. And so it's going to be at 24 degrees. It'll be making an alignment to Pluto. And so we'll be seeing some surprises possibly at work or work-related matters. Could be home-related as well because the sun is in the 4th house. So we have this access point, being activated. But it does seem to be either health-related or work-related. So pay attention. Anytime Uranus is triggered, we could be a little accident-prone. So be careful around tools. Be careful about what you're doing. Not that I'm saying anything's going to happen, but there is that possibility that I have to toss out there. Okay, but this could be surprises at work, like getting a promotion or getting an advance or, something to do with financial matters because it's the sign of Taurus. And so this could improve the bottom line, or it could send some surprises on the 15th that you'll need to be dealing with. Okay, again, I don't see it as an issue. Just be careful not to get into too many conflicts because Mars is in the 1st house and it's very combative. When Mars is in the 1st house, it can be a bit combative. Now, Pluto enters Aquarius again, or re-enters Aquarius again, and it stays in Aquarius for the next 18 and a half to 19 years, right there in your 7th house of relationships and other people. So what this is suggesting is that over the course of these next 18 years, and it's a long time, many of your relationships are going to change, okay? Pluto is the sign that transforms. It's the sign associated with death and rebirth. It's the sign of change, but it's a slow process change. So you'll quickly see how things slowly start to change for you with this Pluto going through Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius likes to bring in change. It is going to disrupt things on many levels with other people in your life. But like I said, it's a slow process. It's going to take 18 years. So this is a major shift in your birth chart and the inner dynamics that are taking place in your astrology. So it's just the way it is. It's not going back into Capricorn for another 240 years. So it's not going back into Capricorn. But all of your relationships are going to begin to change beginning this month. The Sun enters Sagittarius on the 21st. Always a great time of the year for you guys, because Sagittarius is a fire sign like yours. It's also an optimistic sign like yours. So with Mercury there and the Sun in the 5th house, spending more time on creative projects, spending more time having more fun, traveling, or just enjoying yourself with your loved ones. This is absolutely favorable as the Sun makes its way through the 5th house. Now, the last alignment for the month is Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius right there. And it'll stay in Sagittarius all the way through retrograde until December 15th. Not really a big deal. Retrograde just means going back. And when Mercury's in Sagittarius, it's not as bad as it would be in another sign, and it's in your 5th house. So maybe you're dealing with kids or issues from the past relating to your children. Maybe you have a project that you need to finish up. Maybe you need to revisit a place that you really enjoyed with your loved ones, that kind of stuff. And so it's not going to be a big deal. All right. There's a lot of positive in this month. Not too many negatives, but there's it could be a lot of surprises this month as well. Anyway, I've started a new program here where there's going to be an extended version of this horoscope in my Inner Circle community. So if you're interested, I left a link down below. You could join my Inner Circle and get the rest of this horoscope. And of course, if you're interested in learning astrology, I teach astrology there twice a month in my Zoom calls. I teach you astrology, and we go over charts of very famous people or events. We dive in deeper. So you're learning astrology through there. You're getting my predictions. If you want to dive into your own personal chart and you have questions, we could absolutely dive into that as well. So consider joining my Inner Circle and expanding your knowledge base and your understanding. And I do also weekly astrology in there too. So, there's a lot of astrology and understanding trends, and it's really needed right now in the next 6 months to a year as the entire world starts going through major changes. Anyway, have a great month, Leo, and I hope to see you in the community. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.